Hey everyone out there in Facebook world, Linda Reed-Enever, and we're back with another Tips Tuesday session to help you market your business, especially during the world of COVID-19 that we are in at the moment. And what I wanted to chat to you all about today is evergreen content and the power of evergreen content when it comes to your marketing, and especially right now in moments in time where we are like today, and we've maybe got a little bit slower period within our business, and we can really tap into the evergreen content so that when we go back to business as normal or a slightly increased reach within our business community, we can have some evergreen content working for us. So I'm just going to do a quick audio check, make sure that you can hear me, and I'm just going to quickly share into the BBB community to let everyone know we are here this morning for Tips Tuesday, and then we will get started. It has been a busy start to the day here for me. I attended a ClickUp automation workshop at 6 o'clock this morning, so it's been a big start to the day. But if you're a ClickUp user, have a look at that replay if you haven't had a chance, because there's some really cool stuff in there. Okay, beautiful. Okie dokie. Okay, I've got some notes on the computer screen this morning to help you as we go through Tips Tuesday. And as I said, today's topic is all about making sure that we are tapping into the power of evergreen content when it comes to our marketing and making sure that we're making the most of it. If you are here, give me a thumbs up, give me a wave, give me a hello. Let me know that you are here. Let me know if you're creating evergreen content within your business. As we go through this one, you might come up with an idea for evergreen content, and I would love nothing more than to hear in the comments what that evergreen content angle that you might come up with. So first things first, what is evergreen content? Evergreen content is content that you can create once and you can reuse or repurpose throughout your business on multiple times. So when we think about evergreen content, the first place I like to talk to people about evergreen content is it's normally your top tips. Those are the things that you recommend to each client that you're speaking about. It's quite often you're creating video content and information from your FAQ pages. It's the stuff that's relevant to your market on an ongoing basis, no matter when they come across it, but when they come across it, the message is normally right for them. And that's what evergreen content is when it comes to your market. There's another form of evergreen content that we talk about as well, and that is content that happens to be relevant year on year. So that might be, Christmas content, Mother's Day content, which is where we are right now, content that will be relevant time and time again, year after year. And you can create some Mother's Day how-to videos or tips, and those videos are going to be refreshed and reused from each Mother's Day, and they'll pop up in the cycle. And there's stuff that you can put out on your social media channels over those periods, or refresh and reuse over that period of time. So they're the two forms of evergreen content that can be shared pretty much at any stage in time, and it'll be right for the buyer in the buyer's journey or the customer's journey when they're coming across your content, or the stuff that's going to work at the same time of year every year. So where do you find evergreen content angles within your business? So this is one that we're going to work through right now, and hopefully you're going to find some evergreen content angles within your business today that you can literally run off and start using this time of isolation in our life to start creating some evergreen content. So your top 5 tips on a topic. So the top 5 things about the topics that you want to look at. And where did I talk about the top 5 tips on your topic? Why not go back to the basics, the top 5 things people know to know before hiring you, the top 5 mistakes that maybe happen when someone's working with you, the top 5 ways that people can do something that maybe you do but shows that it's slightly harder, not so harder, but it shows that maybe they don't want to, maybe they want to outsource and send it through to you. So your top 5 tips on a subject, especially if you're a consultant or a coach, maybe the top 5 tips are what you need to have in a business plan, etc., etc. Tips for beginners, so tips for people who are starting out, whether they're starting out working with you, starting out using your product or service, some tips for those beginners. And remember, if you're selling a product, tips on how to use it, how to get the most out of it is going to be really helpful. At the moment, we're creating a series on YouTube, which is actually taking the deck of the 5-minute marketing cards and going just that little bit further on the cards and helping people use them. Now, we're not running the whole deck because that would be pointless, but we are going a little bit further into those marketing tips to help people engage. So go back and have a look at those tips for beginners who are starting out using your product or service or whatever it is they're using, and help them understand how to use it better. Explaining your industry terms. So I'm explaining this morning what evergreen content is, and debunking that myth about, well, it's hard to create, but I'm sharing some ways that you can create it so that you understand what the word evergreen means when it comes to content creation and why you would do it. So go and look at those industry terms. Is there a term that people always go, huh, what's that? Because what that's term is a blog post, it's a meme, it's a video, it's an explanation like we're doing here now that will help you create some really good content for people. The other one that I like to talk about is checklists. So having a downloadable checklist, checklist for going Facebook Live, a checklist for, setting up your first cake if you're making a cake and you've bought a cake kit, or tips for buying your first property. And that's evergreen content that people can opt in for. And normally you'd exchange a checklist for an email address. That's what I like to do. So you would, build your list and have some evergreen content. And when the person is searching for that, how to do something, that content is evergreen and fresh and ready for them when they are ready for it in the buyer circle. So it's on your website, it's on your blog, it's on your YouTube channel, it's on those areas where people can find you. Infographics are another great one. So break down statistics or visuals or those sorts of things, or processes in infographics, which are a great way for people to visually connect. And especially when you remember, when we're marketing, we need to engage all types of learning styles, and the visual learning style is one of them. So if you can opt for that visual engagement, so maybe have a look at the blog posts that you're running. Is there something in there that you could break down into an infographic? How to use your products and services is another good one that we're talking about this morning. So take, right now, if you've got the opportunity, take the time to take the products and services that you have and run through how to use them, how to best produce things. One of the videos that I will launch on the YouTube channel later on this week is how to use the new Facebook online events system, and that will go live most probably on Wednesday. And it will be a new video on how to use the online events feature on Facebook. So how to get that working for you. So it's not so much my product or service, but it's a product or service that I teach my other people to use. And it's going to be what they're looking for now with that new particular feature coming out for Facebook. The best tools for your audience. So the best tools people can use. So we do roundups about your best social media tools, your best blogging tools, all of those sorts of things, because people are looking for best webinar tools, etc., best online meeting platforms at the moment. And that means good evergreen content explains what that tool does, explains how it operates, and people come and find it, and they find the list in one place and they go, oh, someone did the research for me. Thank goodness they did the research for me. How good is that? I better follow this person. And that list of tools and content really helps your audience, because you've, debunked some myths for them and made the process just a little bit easier along the way. The other one is ideas and resources. So like we're doing at the moment, we're sharing 11 ideas, and it's a blog post that I have written on my website, 11 ideas that you can use to create evergreen content for your business. So share some ideas, engage, empower your people to show them that you know your stuff by giving them some ideas or resources. So that might be a session like this. It could be, these are some really handy tools, or it could be a how-to process of how to optimize your Facebook video, which we do, or in your case, you might do, how to best maintain your product, or how best to help you, or unusual ideas. I love this one. When I see these clients do this, unusual ideas for things like your calculator. I don't know, I'm running with a calculator and disc, but if you're an accountant, maybe come up with a fun couple of blog posts about unusual things that you can do with your calculator rather than your books or something like that. Okay. The questions you should ask. So I love this one. The questions you should ask before hiring a designer. I talk to designers quite often about, sharing about the questions that you should ask when you're receiving your logo. Now, do you own the copyright? All of those sorts of things. The questions you should ask before buying an investment property is another one that we could look at if you're a property or a real estate person. The questions you should ask before buying a baby carrier if you happen to be selling baby products. As you can see, there's questions that people should ask, or key checklists that you can pop into that area and create some good content. There will be once again that people are searching for, especially if you make it a blog or a video, and it helps you appear in search. And that evergreen content again is there when people are ready to work with you and market from you and buy from you. And the message is there. It doesn't have to be produced over and over again. It just needs to be shared, and that's where that goes into automation. The questions that are being asked by your clients. If you are constantly getting the same question that's being asked by your clients, then chances are that question is going into the Google search engine. So keep track of the questions you're being asked and see if you can create some evergreen content that not only helps people make an informed decision about hiring you, but also helps you appear in search and appear when people are asking those questions. And then the other thing is share your secrets, share your hacks, share your industry knowledge so that people will be able to do it and create credibility. You don't have to give away everything, but if you share a few tips and a few secrets that are going to help people create better content or create better garden beds or create better stuff, then when it comes to them needing to purchase either their fertilizer or whatever it is from a garden perspective, they're going to go, oh, they helped me with that, so they really know their stuff. So I can walk in there now and I go, okay, well, I want to do this, and I know that I'm going to get an expert that will teach me how to make the best out of my garden, etc., etc. The important thing about evergreen content is to mix it up with current content and current stuff as well. So when you look at creating evergreen content for your business, make sure that you've got it on cycle. And once you've created that content, you can use tools like Reed-Enever. And we have Megan from Reed-Enever joining us at 11 o'clock this morning. If you head to the business page, you can register for that webinar. We have her joining us at 11 o'clock this morning talking about, using automation and how to 5 steps of social media success. And one of those Megan and I always talk about is evergreen content. The second one we talk about is automation. So using your program tools like Reed-Enever, like Social Maker, like Buffer, like Hootsuite, whatever one it is, to load that content so that it comes back out. And once you've created an evergreen piece of content, whether it's a blog or something like that, look at the opportunity of repurposing it. So taking that content and turning it maybe into some quotes or some memes or some stuff like that. And for tools like that, what I love to use, especially when it comes to blog posts, is a tool called Missing Letter. And Missing Letter allows me to take a blog post that we've written and create social media posts over 12 months that will go out continually to promote that evergreen piece of content for me. So evergreen content has some power in one way. It has content on your website ready for people to find whenever they're ready in the journey. It has content that you're able to keep promoting and automatically promoting on an ongoing basis in different varied ways. And it allows you to be able to repurpose those ideas and turn them into new content that your people can react with. Just like I've done with this Facebook Live this morning from a blog post that was written back in 2017, all around evergreen content. If you guys would like to deep dive into the world of evergreen content with me, we do have a working day on evergreen content coming up in May. And that's, coming up in June. So the 2nd of June, I'm just looking at my calendar in front of me here, on the 2nd of June, and you're welcome to join me with that. I will pop the links to some of the tools that we've mentioned and everything into the comments here so that you can go and explore them. So things like Missing Letter, Reed-Enever, all of those as I get off the Facebook Live here this morning. And I hope to see you with Megan at 11 o'clock this morning. And I hope you have a great Tuesday. And if this Tips Tuesday has helped you, please give me a thumbs up or head to the Buy Me a Coffee link up the top and you can buy me a coffee. And I will literally take this coffee cup that I have right here down to the coffee Nespresso machine and turn it into a coffee, or walk to my local cafe, which I now can do. Yay! Have a great week, everyone. Bye.